And I'm joined by Alex and Paul, and they are from Common Curiosity. Guys, you've been shortlisted in 3 categories, I think, for your work with, The Bond. I think it's a sub-brand from Oval Real Estate, is that right? 3 categories. One of them brand implementation, one of them best visual identity in the property construction and facilities management space. But I think the one that where it's so beautiful, it's such a beautiful entry, is in the signage and wayfinding, the wayfinding and signage category. Great piece of wayfinding there. I think one of the things that the judges really picked up on was this area, particularly in the way that it seemed to provide a degree of flexibility without having to compromise. Tell me a bit about how that worked.
Yeah, I think whenever we approach kind of brand identities and wayfinding projects, I think we look to create a brand system so that it works across multiple different ways, but it gives you the flexibility, I think, to do lots of different things with it. I think what worked so well for us with the Bond is it was such a simple idea, but it gave us legs to do so many things. So creating iconography, navigational signage and arrows, like everything was born from this very simple grid. So I think it gave us a very kind of consistent brand language to use throughout the building, but also a lot of flexibility to do lots of different things. Even typography, we built a typeface from the system. So yeah, I think a very versatile system, but also a very consistent system as well.
Yeah, and I think that footprint that sort of ran through everything helped tell that sort of consistent story across all the different individual buildings and sites in that sort of one complex.
Okay, I think we talk about the complex. It's a media and entertainment hub, isn't it, in Birmingham? How much did that kind of heritage come through? Was it a former studio?
Yeah, it's been lots of different things over its life. Everything from an ice warehouse to gas works. They used to sell bootleg gin at one point, so it's kind of been everything. And the sort of history is in the walls of the place, really. It's actually on the Grand Union Canal where the Birmingham Fazeley Canal join it. So out of the back there was a big old hoist, which it's old warehousing days. They used to load things onto the boats, and that's actually where the sort of inspiration for the identity came. So the sort of history was there to kind of use, but I think what we were keen to do was not sort of pastiche the history and kind of use it, reference it, harness it, but it's been transformed into a very forward-facing kind of media and film hub now. So I think anything that felt too old school wouldn't really fit the kind of new purpose of it. But for us, it was kind of intrinsic that we didn't forget the history of it, and we repurposed it in a kind of new, modern, contemporary way.
And I think being able to build some of that in with the materials helped tell that story as well. So one of the buildings, the Ice House, we used frosted acrylic in that space to really reference that sort of heritage of the ice. So subtle nods without being, like you say, too pastiche.
Fantastic. Well, great pieces of work. Good luck tonight.